You are the first person to show up when a friend is in crisis, yet you're the last person to offer yourself a shred of mercy when you stumble. This extreme kindness isn't a personality trait, it's a sophisticated survival strategy designed to keep you safe in a world you learned to fear long ago. For most people, being helpful is a virtue. For you, it might be an invisible suit of armor. In psychology, this is often identified as the fawning response, a mechanism where the nervous system decides that the only way to avoid rejection or abandonment is to become indispensable and completely inoffensive to everyone else. You aren't just being nice, you are managing a potential threat. This pattern almost always traces back to a childhood radar station. If you grew up in an environment where your emotions were seen as an annoyance or where the mood of your caregivers changed like the weather, your brain formed a dangerous equation. Showing vulnerability equals a loss of love, which equals danger. To survive, you taught yourself to swallow your tears and build a quiet fortress, where your only job was to anticipate the needs of others before a conflict could even begin. As an adult, this manifests as a state of hypervigilance. You walk into a room and instantly scan for hidden fake energy, forced smiles, or avoided glances. While others see a normal conversation, your brain is running a high-speed data collection machine, searching for technical errors in people's behavior to predict an emotional disaster. You have become so good at thin slicing, detecting tiny micro-expressions that you can see through people's masks in seconds. But there is a heavy price for this superpower. When you see what others miss, you often fall into the Cassandra trap, seeing a disaster coming but being labeled as negative or picky when you try to point out the truth. Because you can't trust what people say, you stop trusting the surface of life altogether. You enter a detective trap, where a compliment feels like a setup for a favor and a late text message feels like the beginning of the end. Inside, you are governed by a hyper self-awareness that never turns off. You don't just feel an emotion, you monitor it, analyze it, and then judge it. If you feel a moment of legitimate anger, your internal judge immediately steps in to ask why you aren't feeling grateful instead. It's like trying to dance while constantly staring at your reflection in a mirror to fix your posture. You might not miss a step, but you've lost the music. Physiologically, when you are hurt, your system doesn't scream, it shuts down. This is the dorsal vagal shutdown, or the freeze state. Your prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for logic, temporarily disconnects from your emotional centers. Even if there are thousands of thoughts screaming inside your head, your language gets locked. You tell people, "I'm fine," not because it's true, but because you are using 100% of your energy just to hold yourself together against an internal emotional storm. You choose silence because you've learned that anything you say can be used against you. This silence is often a shield to protect the relationship from the verbal bullets you're afraid might spill out if you let your guard down. However, if you use this shield for too long, it turns into a wall that blocks the very love you crave the most. Furthermore, many overkind people are secretly trapped in a provisional life. You treat your own needs as temporary or secondary, waiting for a special path that never arrives while you watch everyone else move forward. You avoid taking responsibility for your own happiness because that would mean facing the risk of failure in the real world. You would rather be a spectator of your own life than step onto the field and get scratched by reality. The path to healing requires you to move from protection to presence. It starts with strategic ignorance, learning that even if you see a truth, it is not always your responsibility to act on it or fix it. You must learn to accept social masks in others, recognizing that people often wear them to hide their own wounds and insecurities. Most importantly, you must build safe exits. Instead of disappearing into silence, give a small signal. Use phrases like, "My mind feels stuck right now and I can't find the words, but I will come back to talk when I've calmed down." This bridge allows you to defrost your emotions without abandoning the other person or yourself. True kindness isn't born from the fear of being rejected, it's born from the security of being accepted, starting with the person in the mirror. When you finally learn to be as gentle with your own flaws as you are with the world's, you stop surviving and finally start living. If you recognized yourself in this quiet fortress today, leave a comment and let me know which sign hit you the hardest. Your story might be the exact comfort someone else is searching for. If you want to keep exploring the hidden corners of your mind, make sure to subscribe. I'm Theo, take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next conversation.